Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Give me a moment while I get everything set up and going live in all the places. All right, so here we go. All right, and one more thing. Give me one more second. All right. Is my sound working? All right. Okay, I think it is. It's a delay. It's a delay. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. So, thank you for being here this morning. I'm so excited to be here with you. And I have a what I kind of wanted to talk about today on this morning's live is tell you what I did yesterday because it might surprise you. Because it's coming from someone 4 days out from a program launch. I made my list of all the things that I needed to do to be really on top of things for this launch. I did three of them. Well, three of them. And then I sat on my patio. I had breakfast in the sun. I listened to the birds. It was nice and cozy out there. I took the dog for a walk several times. I relaxed. I read my book. I took care of myself. I even watched a little TV. That was my Sunday. And here's what I noticed, and this is important. Am I frozen? I'm not sure. I'm seeing some things happening on my phone here. Hold on. Give me just a second. I see V, you're watching. If you would give me a thumbs up or give me some kind of indicator that it is that I'm still there, because to me it's frozen. Maybe let me pop out of here again and then try it one more time. Be be with me. I'm sorry. Let me see here. Where did it go? So it's like it disappeared. Let's just see. What I kind of wanted to talk about today. All right. I don't know. It's still spinning, so I have no idea. So hopefully it is everything is working well, but I'm going to keep going. um, the thing that was important to me to share today is that yesterday, even though I made a conscious choice to do the three things that felt really important to me, and the other things on my list, it was okay. Even though I have this launch that I'm supposed to be doing all these things for, right? I didn't feel guilty and I didn't spiral. I used to. I didn't even open up my laptop or jump on the desktop at 9 p.m. to make up for it. I just let it be a beautiful day. I just let it be a beautiful day. And to be honest with you, that used to be impossible for me. Impossible. And today I wanted to talk to you about why and what changed. So I would love to hear from you, but Most of us adopted someone else's rhythm. At some point, most of us watched someone succeed and thought, I need to do what they're doing. Not only that, but people tell you that all the time. I've made $1,000,000. This is how I did it. This is what you should do. And then there are people that are in the thing of the morning thing. So if you don't get up at 4 or 5 a.m., then you're not being a conscious creator. But that's not everybody's rhythm, right? And I'll be honest, I have fallen prey to that many times and tried some of the things like posting every day, batch content on Sundays, never miss a Monday email, be visible, be consistent, be relentless, be relentless. And those things that worked for them in their body, in their season, their nervous system design. But when I took actions like that without the alignment in me, that's when I would burn out, doing everything right and wondering what was wrong with me. So, has anyone else copied somebody else's strategy and felt exhausted by it, or just like, this doesn't feel like me? And I think I've shared before, one of the things that I did, and this has probably been it's probably been a year and a half, 2 years ago, I do not recall, but I had gotten really interested in human design, and I thought I wanted to learn about it so I could teach other people. No, I don't wanna do that. But I did wanna understand me better with my human design. And I don't really know how to describe it. It's not like your astrology chart. It's but it's found with your birthday and the birth time and all those things, right? So I had a person that I had met in a group, and she was a guest on my podcast. And one of the things that she did was she took all my information and then she gave me a reading on the podcast. And the thing that I learned from her, which was so valuable, according to my human design, and what's funny, or not funny, but interesting, is that has shown to be the way that I worked and felt guilty for. I'm a manifester. And if are not familiar with human design, you need to look it up. And I have a couple of names of people that I can give you if you want to dive in and have them help you find out what your human design is. But for so long, I felt like if I took a break, and sometimes a break might be a whole friggin' day. Like yesterday, I did the 3 things, didn't take me very long, and the rest of it was like, and before I had this human design reading, I thought that was me being a avoider. I thought it was me not wanting it bad enough, me being afraid, and I had all these reasons why I acted that way, right? But I realized after I did my human design, and you don't have to do that, but I'm telling you it's helpful. But after I did that, I realized that that was one of my hidden money stories, that you have to suffer to deserve it. If you're not getting up at before the crack of dawn, to be honest with you, that's the way it feels to me. It feels like middle of the night when you're getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. to do your work. And that works for some people. That is not me. So you have to decide when you hear somebody spouting about the people that do this, this is how they act. You have to decide. Because here's the subconscious belief underneath all of it. And this is the money story that a lot of people really don't talk about. If it doesn't look like hustle, it doesn't count. If you rested, you must not want it badly enough, right? That's what I said a moment ago. This is the one that really got me. If it came too easily, you probably don't deserve to keep it. I used to think if it wasn't hard, if it didn't take a lot of time and effort, then whatever success that came from the actions, I didn't deserve. Right? That's not a strategy, it's a story. And it was actually installed long before I ever started a business. So the subconscious mind, which we've talked about many times before, drives 95% of our behavior. And it's always, always looking for internal consistency. So if part of you believes rest equals failure, it will create anxiety every time you stop moving. Not because you're lazy. Good morning, good morning. But because your programming says you should be worried. So your rhythm, the way you flow best, like some people are morning people, and I'm a morning person, but I wake up without a clock or anything between 6 and 7 a.m. Just that's what it happens. I used to have to set a clock. I don't anymore. I get up. I do my thing. I'm happy. I'm ready to talk to people. That's not everybody's rhythm. I have a daughter that lives in the house with me, an adult daughter, and her rhythm is when she wakes up, which it depends on what job she's doing at the time, but she doesn't want to be anybody to even talk to her in the morning. She's not sociable in the morning. That comes later in the day. That's her rhythm, right? So she takes jobs on that help her flow into that rhythm. And every time she goes away from that rhythm, she suffers. So, like I said, I spent years thinking my natural rhythm. Are you? I feel you. I get up and I want to talk. As a matter of fact, while I'm getting ready, I take the dog out, and when I'm getting dressed and getting my shower, doing all those things, I end up listening to an audiobook. I talk to my sister on the phone, or I do something because that's just who I am, right? But I used to feel like my natural rhythm, not the getting up part, but the way I worked part, because I can sit down with a list of things to do, and I can work and work and work. And I'll even lose track of time getting things done. But when it comes to a certain point, it's like my body says, okay, it's time to take a break. And I used to feel like I had to work through that because of all the things that the gurus are telling us about how you create success. So I worked in powerful, focused burst followed by genuine downtime. And that wasn't inconsistency dressed up as a personality. And now I know that it's quite the opposite. Those quiet days, like I said, I had a Sunday that I had a list of things to do, and I did 3 things that didn't take me very long. And then it was like, oh, I really want to have a day with no agenda. It just feels good. So many times yesterday, as I was sitting out on the deck in the sun eating breakfast, when I was walking the dog, when I was sitting and watching TV, when I was playing ball with the dog, all of those things, there were times in the midst of each one of them that I thought, oh, this feels amazing, right? They weren't wasted. It's how I refuel so that when I do move, I've moved with clarity and force. So I want you to realize that your rhythm, once you discover what it is, it's how you generate your best work. Now, some of the people that we follow or that I follow, that they say get up at 4 or 5 a.m. and then you work through the day and you do all these things. Maybe that's what's best for them. And wonderful, right? Just wonderful. But I want you to look at what feels good in your body. Now, I don't mean like there are times we can talk ourselves out of doing things because we're afraid to connect with someone, or we are avoiding doing something because we're afraid we'll fail or we're afraid we'll succeed. And there's all these different things. But inside all of that, you can find your rhythm. So the real question is whether you've given yourself permission to trust it. So I was just describing my Sunday, and it wasn't me avoiding my launch because it's happening on Friday. I had to look at the calendar to see what the day is. But yesterday was actually fueling me. So the 3 questions to help you find your rhythm. Are you ready? Let me check. I haven't looked over here real quick. All right. So the first question, when do you do your thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Ready. When do you do your clearest thinking? Not when you're supposed to, not when the gurus say so. When does it actually happen for you? Have you paid attention to that? You know, I used to have a friend that worked evening shift because that's when they had their clearest thinking. Midday, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. But they felt like they were at their utmost best abilities in the evening, that they didn't follow the same rhythm as most people. And so that's what they did, was they always worked anything that they could do, they did it during the night. Right? That wouldn't work for me, but it worked for them beautifully. Finding your own rhythm, so important. So number 2, what does real depletion feel like for you versus productive tiredness? Now, there's a difference, right? Depletion to me is if, like yesterday, I had pushed through and done all the things that were on my list. I would have not just felt tired from being productive. I would have felt depleted. And I probably would have just been totally exhausted in the evening. And to be honest with you, I might have gotten up this morning still being tired. Because depletion feels like that when you push through your natural rhythm. But when you do something and you're in your natural rhythm and maybe you spend a lot of time on it, that's productive tiredness, and that's good, right? Not good. Well, it's okay. It's not going against your natural rhythm. Because there's a big difference between the fatigue that follows good work and the hollow exhaustion of overriding your natural rhythm. So number 3, what are you afraid people will think if they see you rest? Beautiful. So I'll ask you, since you're responding there, and I appreciate you greatly. So what are you afraid, or maybe you're not afraid, but what do you think people will think if they see you rest? if they see you following your natural rhythm, and I have to make sure I'm not assuming that you need to do like I do and get in that rest time like that I do, right? Maybe you're one of those people that can work for straight 8 hours and then be done. But I break that 8 hours up into pieces. They might think you're lazy. Yeah, that's what I used to think. People would think I'm lazy. They think I don't want it enough, because I've heard people say that too. If you're not willing to um, go gung ho, then you don't want it bad enough. It's interesting how people's perception of how they do things, and they try to make us feel like we're less than if we're not following their advice. That's why I'm saying trust your own rhythm. And after a while, you can understand and you can actually see when you're avoiding something because you just don't want to do it because maybe it's uncomfortable. It's outside your comfort zone, right? That's different than following your natural rhythm of when you work the best, when you feel the best, and you get your most of your creativity. Most of my creative ideas come when I'm walking randomly with the dog outside. So the fact that you believe that they will think you're lazy, that's the story right there. That's what we're rewriting. So the reframe for that is success built on someone else's rhythm is borrowed momentum. It'll work for a while, and then your body calls it back. So what you're really looking for is your momentum, right? The kind that comes from knowing yourself well enough to work with your nature instead of against it. So how does that feel when you think about that? Working with your nature, your natural rhythm, and whether they think you're lazy or not, be damned, right? Because you know that's the most strategic thing you can do. So I've come to this place where now when I see people giving advice on how many hours you should do this, and I even there's a phrase that I used to hear a lot was, "You can sleep when you're dead," because right now you got to work. And there's the people that will say, you know, burn the candle at both ends, and then when you get successful, then you can rest back. But the thing that thank you for that. The thing that is important to me is that as you're especially as an entrepreneur, you're teaching your subconscious mind, you're teaching your body, and you're teaching the people around you, not only your family, your friends, your clients, you're teaching all those people how valuable your time is. You're teaching them that what everybody else wants is more valuable than what you want. You're teaching them that if they need you after hours, you'll do it because your time's not valuable. You're teaching them that I know I have this rhythm that I can work for a little bit, but my body will tell me it's time to relax and just regroup. And if you do something during that period, instead of doing the regrouping for yourself, then you're teaching your body, your subconscious, and others that your rhythm isn't important. And it is. deeply depressed here. Everything is a chore to me. Okay. All right. Well, if you are deeply depressed, then that's a little bit different than following your natural rhythm, right? Because your rhythm can be off. Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I want to leave you with this. The calmness I feel 4 days out from a launch with no enrollments yet is not delusion, and it's not naive. It's actually evidence that something has shifted in me at a deeper level. I'm not white knuckling my way to May 1st. I'm trusting the work that I've done in myself and with the people I'm meant to serve. If you're someone who's been white knuckling it or overriding your own rhythm because some formula said you should, I want you to consider that there might be a different way. Not necessarily easier, but truer. So just take a breath. Just go ahead, take in a breath and let it go. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm doing a program that's entirely about this, not just the rhythm piece, but the deeper subconscious stories underneath why we override ourselves in the first place. And there may be something there for you too, Blue Daffodil, because it's called Rewrite Your Money Story. And it starts May 1st. And if you're curious, I'll drop the link. Let me go ahead and drop that link in here. But today is really just about giving you something to think with. And you are always welcome to just give me a call. I have our setup for a call. And do I have that link on me? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can grab that link real quick. Hold on one second. I should have had this ready. Copy link. All right. I'm gonna share this. So there's my Calendly link to set up a call, and we can talk about, whether the program's right for you, or maybe I can steer you towards something if I'm not the right fit, because not everybody is the right fit, right? It's like, I'm not going to tell you that I know all and I can help you, because I don't know until we've had a conversation. But I would love to have you schedule a call if that feels aligned. And remember that your rhythm is important. And that's no matter what's going on in your life, you do have a rhythm. And we can get a little off track with our rhythm when we spend too much time on somebody else's rhythm. So schedule a call if you feel led, and if you feel that the Rewrite Your Money Story sounds like a very good place to be, at least check out the link and see what you think. It starts on May 1st, and I'm super excited about it because it is a labor of love. I had, for a while, I did an actual monthly membership that was all about the Rewrite Your Money Story. And we had amazing testimonials from that. And that's actually on my website when you go, which is just theenlightenedpeach.com. But it's a beautiful thing. It's a thing that I've been working through for years. And as I've come across different information and been able to help myself, I want to help you uncover those beliefs, like the one I just talked about, or the ones that I just talked about, that might be holding you back. So thank you for being here and actually interacting. I appreciate it greatly. And I will see you soon. I'm always here on Mondays at 10 a.m. So please come back and join me. And till then, as always, remember life is delicious. Love you guys.